All right, what's up, everybody? I think I had the most interesting question that I've gotten on this channel yet on my last video. Somebody asked what motivated my training because I'm not someone that competes in bodybuilding. I'm not someone that competes in anything fitness or bodybuilding related. But the question, he posed an interesting question asking what motivates me because there's a few different ways that I am motivated, and it really kind of forced me to look inwards and see why am I doing this? And at this point it's just what I do. But I think the best way for me to get an understanding of why I do it is to look back to why I started lifting. So when I first started lifting, I was a younger guy. I've wanted to lift and I wanted to be big since I was a little kid. I remember being 5 at a store. I think it was an Olympia Sports with my older brother at the time. And I went immediately to the dumbbell rack and picked up the heaviest weights that I could do a bicep curl with. I think I was 5 or 6 years old, and I picked up the 8-pound dumbbells, and I was doing a couple reps of curls with them. I just thought it was cool. For some reason, I just thought it would be cool to be jacked ever since I was a little kid. I was just born that way. So it's literally an innate desire. It's something that I have no control over. I just wanted to be jacked ever since, like before I could even talk or walk. So that's just part of who I am, and I've been able to embrace that, which is great. When it comes to my motivation to start lifting when I was a little bit older, when I was in high school, it was a lack of confidence. And it's a different type of lack of confidence than most people that start lifting suffer from. But for myself, I didn't believe in myself. And as corny as that sounds, it was holding me back from doing things that I probably wanted to do. And I think I was settling in certain situations, whether it was in sports or anything else, whatever. But I didn't think that I could go build muscle. I had so much self-doubt, and I didn't think I could do it. So for me, it wasn't this physique will bring me the confidence and make me feel better about myself. It wasn't the physique itself, but it was achieving the physique. So it was ultimately the process. And I knew that since day one. Of as cool as it is to be jacked, if someone just plopped some muscles on me, or say I took steroids and just got big real quick, that wouldn't do it for me because I'd always be doubting if it was myself that actually made that happen. And that's one of the bigger reasons why I don't really take steroids or even talk about them on the channel, because it's irrelevant in my mindset. And it might be something I touch on in the future, but it's literally something that I just straight up don't think of because it has no impact in my mindset or my training. And as you guys know, this channel is entirely revolved around mindset with some programming as well. So it's an interesting process in my mind, but there were a few different things that led me to believe that I just couldn't do what I wanted to do. And lifting was what fixed that for me. So when I started lifting and I built some muscle, I instantly gained confidence. And once you have that, you can start to see, all right, well, maybe I can do other things in life. And for a lot of people, it's almost like a similar mindset to like success financially. You see this all the time on social media, like Instagram, the whole grind set thing, grind from sun up to sundown and whatnot. But for me, I kind of just I almost had that mindset, but just put it in towards bodybuilding. I think based on the way that I grew up, I just didn't like the whole finance thing, and the money thing was just not, I couldn't even relate to that. I had no understanding or no connection to that whatsoever. So for me, it was just what's a tangible aspect of myself that I can improve and get confidence from. And for me, it was lifting because it's something that I innately desired, and 2, it's something that I genuinely did not believe that I could succeed in, and I proved myself wrong doing that. And there's certain things that has spun into over time, such as this channel, or getting a certain job, or buying a certain thing. And it's helped improve my life greatly, obviously. You guys can tell how much I like lifting and how seriously I take it. And there's something else that as you gain life experience, you start to realize, and that's just going to be avoiding being the worst and also pursuing being the best at whatever you're doing. And you don't have to do this in every aspect of life because you just can't be the jack of all trades. You can't be the best at everything that you're involved in. But with that being said, it's a good idea to pick something and become the best at it. And this advice is something that I want you guys to take to heart, because it's not just that there's not a lot of this advice being put out there, but people actively put out opposing advice to what I'm saying. And I'm not trying to say I'm right or other people are wrong, but how many times have you heard this? When I stopped focusing on my quote unquote passion, or when I stopped focusing on my fitness so much, I got happier. Or when I stopped trying to be in such good shape, I got happier. When I stopped working so hard, I got happier. I think there's a work-life balance for sure. But when you fail at something, the one thing that you want to do when you fail is look to others for support. And that's a coping mechanism that, in my opinion, is not good. That's a sign that you've lost your confidence and that you've lost at whatever you're trying to pursue. So when somebody says, oh, well, I lost my job, but I'm happier now, or I really care about bodybuilding and I lost and I think I'm happier now, or I lost all my money in the stock market, but I'm happier now and I understand life better. Like, no. 9 times out of 10, just no, that's a lie. You hearing people talk about that is a bad coping mechanism for that person. They're trying to seek validation for them fucking up through other people. And now we intake this advice all the time from people that lose and people that fail. And it's okay to lose and it's okay to fail, but you have to make a decision. Do you want to continue losing and failing, get complacent where you're at and just stay there and cope to other people by saying, oh, I've accepted losing and I've accepted defeat and I'm just going to sit here and I understand all these like introspective things about myself and life, which in my opinion, like I said, I think that's a coping mechanism? Or do you want to get back to what you enjoy doing, bounce back and actually get that confidence back within yourself? Do you see the difference between the two? For myself, that's happened to me in the past. I've given up on lifting. I took it away from my priorities for a little bit, and that's fine. But once I caught myself saying, oh, well, my quality of life is better, I'm not spending so much time in the gym, that's a cope. Because deep down, like I said at the start of the video, it's my innate desire to be jacked. So ever since before I was probably born, I probably wanted to be jacked. That's just who I am. It's just what I do. And I've embraced that, which I'm grateful for. If I was to give this up and get on some weird like voodoo shit about how I'm just happier and I have a better quality of life, in my opinion, I'd be a loser. And I have been a loser before. And that's bad for your mental health, which is then bad for your physical health. When you lose and you see winners and you're a loser, you're going to cope, and it also destroys your mental health. Whether you're willing to admit it or accept it or not, that's just part of sociology. That's part of psychology. Your mental health takes a turn for the worst when you lose. You see this happen all the time in any area of life. So don't listen to what people say. Look at their actions and look at their mental health. When your mental health is in check, your physical health is in check, everything starts to work better. One of the most interesting things that I've seen is the studies and the data on testosterone levels between the most successful people, well, obviously men, and the least successful men. And there's a gigantic difference from the successful people to the unsuccessful. And I'm not well versed in this, so I could be wrong, or I might have this messed up a little bit. But I think generally this tends to be right. And you look at what that does for your physical health. Whether it's the people that are just born with super high testosterone, great mental and physical health, that just end up being more successful because they're more of a go-getter and they're in a better mental frame, or if it's the other way around where the more successful you get, the more healthy you get, which I believe to be the case, I think that's something to take into consideration. I think that's important. And what I'm trying to get at here is whatever path you pick, you want to be the person that maybe has that higher testosterone. You're a healthier person, you're a happier person, physically and mentally. And that's what improves your overall quality of life. And it's just this compound effect where if you can become the best at something and build that confidence and that mental health, I think that carries over into everything. So to get back to what I was saying, it doesn't have to be lifting. You can take my same mindset and you can apply it to say, financial success. But it's a good idea to have a few different areas of life that you're good at and one that you truly excel in my opinion. I think it's good to try and be the best at not at everything, to be the best at something. I don't think everybody has to live a happy and successful life, but you have to take some of these things into consideration and figure out what you want to be the best at, or at least to strive to be the best at and not give up on that process. So physical fitness, bodybuilding, that's what it is for me. One, because I love it. And two, like I said, there's mental health benefits that breed into your physical health. How do you not want to take that? And when it comes to the physical health aspect, part of what I see is like, yeah, one, you're going to be healthier and look better and whatever, and that's great. But two, what's the point in being so good at something else, or being like some multi-millionaire that drives all these fancy cars and whatnot, if you can't be in good physical shape to enjoy your life? So I think what we have to do is do good in most areas of life, but pick one that you're going to excel in. And I think fitness and bodybuilding should be something that we all do. I think the vast majority of people should just be pursuing fitness as a goal. It doesn't have to be your top priority like it is mine. You don't have to be a complete nerd about natural bodybuilding and programming like myself, but getting the most you can out of it while still being able to prioritize what you truly want to prioritize is going to be key. But pick what you want to do and try to become the best at it. You might see a pretty good benefit in your mental health. So that's my young man's version of how my mindset works. It's an impossible question, so I tried my best. I hope you guys can relate to that a little bit, and I'll talk to you guys soon.